Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. Of course, in the audio realm as well. And we're doing it live. All these recaps are live right here on the Twitch at twitch.tv/Stephen Larson. So join us. Follow us on the Twitter at Real Going In Raw. We always post up, like in this sort of doing things the new way. Last night, we did our AEW recap.
You got that right.
Like an hour or two after the show ended. And so it was sort of impromptu. It was like, hey, you know, we're both doing this thing remotely. You want to just hop on and do it? And I liked it. I thought it was really good. And the video's doing gangbusters. So that's
it's doing really well. Thanks, everybody, for checking that out.
Yeah, for sure. So that's up on our channel right now. Now we're doing our NXT review because things happen on Wednesday. 2 things happen on Wednesday, and this is one of them. Yeah, let me see. I think we actually got a new patron, so I want to give I want to give a shout out here.
Yeah, shout out to new patrons. If you want to be patron too, you get shout out and show as well.
Yeah, and you get access at the $5 and up a month mark. You get access to all our bonus content. Yesterday on Bonus Show, what are we doing?
Cameron Sherman is new patron.
Yeah, and also I thought there was one other one. Did I? I don't think I ever mentioned this. I mentioned Steve LeClaire. I remember that name. I don't remember mentioning Sarah Queen. So thank you, Sarah Queen.
Don't recall that name either.
Okay, well, there we go. I think we got it.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody, for your support. Yeah, man, what are we doing? Oh, man, bonus episode yesterday was good. Number one, we've been incorporating this new thing called Steve Plays GTA during the bonus episodes, and it's going over like gangbusters, man. But then you came up with a really good idea yesterday.
Yeah, I actually had a good idea.
Well, fantasy book. I heard. I know what you're doing there. Well, fantasy book. The previews for NXT and AEW, and nobody voted at all, so I just think I won.
No, I think I won.
I had more sex in mine. I had actual full frontal nudity in mine.
Yeah, but I actually had more things come to fruition, didn't I? I had Matt Hardy teleporting.
Triple H became like the NXT champion. There's 2 new AAA mega champions
I'll say
crowned.
This. Hold on. None of that happened. I called Matt Hardy teleporting, and I said that Gargano and Ciampa are going to have to foot the bill to fix the Performance Center, and that's kind of the case. They were fine.
Oh, so you predicted a thoroughly predictable thing. Great for you. I went with the create. No, I get the point in my head. My imagination, my creativity.
Did you come up with Patrick Sparks beating up Tyler Breeze and confronting Austin Theory and them having a match?
Again, kind of the obvious thing. I went in a completely different route. Austin Theory is actually 53 years old. I think that I won that one. Anyways, hopefully people will vote next time, and we'll get the real winner will be determined. Anyways, NXT this week saw a lot of new faces, and seemingly the time has come. Midnight has struck.
Yeah.
TikTok,
NXT. TikTok.
Well, no more TikToking because the clock stops at midnight. Or it chimes at midnight or something.
Yeah, but that's always been the case. Like at the end of all of these vignettes, there's always a clock and it stops once it reaches midnight.
Oh, so they always stop him? I've only seen one of them.
Yeah, all of them end the same way.
Oh, that'd be cool if it was like approaching midnight and then it hit midnight.
They all hit that kind of grainy video footage of the clock hitting midnight.
But none of them had his face in them.
No, this is the first one with face. With Killer Kross face.
And then there was the voice was a lot more prominent in this one.
Yeah, it wasn't as buried in the mix. So Killer Kross, he made his presence more felt, more directly at least, at the culmination of this Triple H Gargano Ciampa thing. We'll get to more on that later.
Meeting of the minds.
Yeah, so the long story short, they agreed to have a match at an empty arena. Triple H like, all right, I'll find you guys an empty building, despite the fact that they're standing in one. So you can have this match. So essentially, it sounds like a death match, like legit. 2 people walk in, 1 walks out. They're gonna fight to the death. It ends there.
Yeah, no, but he said there's gonna be a ref there to just make sure that it's done. Yeah. I would think that if it's a death match, they would want like a medical physician on the facility to check the pulse.
Well, I mean, a ref's probably trained to do basic vitals.
That being said, though, they have 2 weeks. Next week, are they going to do? Are we thinking they're going to announce what an actual stipulation is going to be?
I would suspect, yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, there's going to be no DQ where they could do whatever they want.
Yeah. Odds are, though, the Killer Kross is going to interject himself in this whole scenario since he did the end of last night's show and destroy both of them. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. However, like this is probably fanciful thinking. So like Triple H obviously was the guy, probably, even though Killer Kross denies this, was the guy dealing with Killer Kross, and he was like, "Hey, dude, well, there's a couple things going on." He said, "Hey, we're really gonna hotshot you here. You're gonna bring you in top of the card. You're gonna be great." Given that Triple H was out there and he was front and center, yeah, he's Killer Kross probably gonna come in and do this Gargano Ciampa thing.
Mm-hmm.
But how cool would it be if Killer Kross targeted Triple H instead? Because Triple H, just like a couple months ago, and it's probably just, if this happens, it'd be mere coincidence. But how great would it be if a couple months ago, during one of these conference calls where things are supposed to be kind of out of character, Triple H said, "Yeah, I have no interest in wrestling in NXT. It's about the future." Well, what if Killer Kross said, what if he said, "Hey, I have said that I'm never going to come into NXT, but for you, I will." And how big of a statement would it be if you're going to come in and like, just because all of the Tron stuff is all death and destruction. It's like, nuclear explosions going off and do not disturb signs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What if the architect of NXT, the guy who built it all, and it keeps it all together? What if
they keep referring to him as the creator?
Mm-hmm.
They call Triple H the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stole that from Fun Wrestling.
Or Jared Leto on his island.
Oh, gosh.
I just read about that the other day. That's crazy. So, what if he targeted Triple H first and like put him down? Just like put him down.
So what you're saying essentially is that Killer Kross will be Larson Hunter.
Yes, if we're gonna draw endless comparisons to Fun Wrestling, sure, why not? Yes. Absolutely.
He'll be Levesque Hunter.
Did we ever get an origin of Larson Hunter?
No. Why is that necessary?
Come on, man. I want to know where he's from. Why does he have this seething hatred of Larson besides the obvious?
He's a Larson. It's all self-loathing.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyways, we have somebody here in our Twitch chat. Gabby Neo 8 says the translation for the final segment, it's in Romanian, his native language. "Only a man will win, and if you lose, the weaker man is done." And the final quote is, "The end is near." So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And if you lose, understand. It says, "You will see pain. The weakest man is finished. You will see pain. It is a dangerous force. The clock is ticking at midnight. The end is near." Thank you very much for that, Gabby. That's really cool.
Great. Thank you so much.
So yeah, that's really cool. I mean, the whole package thing was really cool. And yeah, regardless of how it turns out, I think it'll inject a breath of fresh air, perhaps, hopefully in NXT if they want to go down this route. It does feel like I get the feeling after watching last night's episode though that they're anxious to move on. I'll put it this way. It's almost as if they've sort of written off because of how things are playing out. They get no big blowout takeover. They have to do this over a couple of weeks in front of nobody. It kind of, and they're probably, I don't think they've filmed this stuff yet. Was last night live?
No.
They had taped all that stuff,
They
right?
taped it over the weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
I think this week and next week has already been taped.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, Velveteen Dream wasn't even seen last night. No, I don't know at this point. I mean, I guess we could just, it's probably a better roadmap just for us to go through the actual episode.
Yeah.
So kicked off with real superstar all day, Patrick Sparks, Austin Theory. I didn't even notice his tights this week. Did he have the picture of himself on it?
No.
It was all day real superstar?
No, I don't remember saying anything. We did have his silhouette on it.
Oh, wow.
They were black and red and gold.
I don't know why I didn't look. Anyways, Austin Theory versus Tyler Breeze. Of course, this is set up a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And in sort of surprising fashion, Austin Theory, due to his relentless mocking and hubris of Tyler Breeze, picking up the phone, doing the Sammy Guevara thing, only without the great head of hair. He was I guess vlogging, or just talking to an Instagram video. I don't know what Tyler Breeze is.
Well, I think he was. So So Theory brought his phone to the ring. He had like his tights, and then put it in the corner. And then he had the advantage at one point after, where was it? Oh, he hits him with like a last shot 1.0.
Yeah.
And he goes over, grabs the phone, and I guess rolls video on it and starts talking trash to Tyler, saying, "Oh, I'm a flash in the pan, huh?"
Yeah.
And picks him up, fireman's carry, as if he's going to do his finish because he has like a TKO finish. And then Tyler escapes that, hits beauty shot for the win.
Yeah,
making
it was
Austin Theory look like an a-hole.
It was actually pretty impressive that he was able to continue vlogging while he was getting up on his shoulders.
I know.
This match, I like this. This is probably, and I haven't seen. I mean, I've only seen the Austin Theory matches on NXT. Being in there with Tyler Breeze seemed to service him quite a bit because it just felt. I don't know. It felt. This is silly to say, but it felt more real. Like some of his previous matches, they just felt like they were. I'm not going to say rehearsed necessarily, but too crisp, maybe.
I know what you mean. Yeah. No, that's what had a greater sense of urgency, I think, because the story kind of necessitated that.
There's a little bit of story there, yeah.
And Austin Theory, he's a pretty athletic dude.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Those Rolling Thunder drop kicks, and especially the blockbuster.
Yeah.
You know, he rolls, jumps.
And when he caught
get that out of standing opponent, it's pretty crazy.
I don't know if Tyler Breeze was going for a coffin drop or what, but he came off the top rope in a weird way, and Austin Theory caught him on his shoulders. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive feat.
Yeah, pretty dang impressive.
So he looked pretty good, even in loss. And I like this in terms of him eating the loss. It was sort of unexpected. You think a guy like Tyler Breeze is going to just, he's going to be there to put Austin Theory over.
Yeah.
And I mean, he probably will. At some point, if they continue this, or if this is just going to be more of a learning experience for Austin Theory.
Yeah, I think the long-term story, I'm guessing, for Austin Theory, he comes in, hot shot, young rookie, all-day real superstar.
Yeah, sure.
Thinks the world of himself. He's getting humbled left and right. And then he needs to adjust his attitude. He needs an attitude adjustment.
Oh, wow. Cena versus Austin Theory confirmed here on Going In Raw. We've got the scoop.
He needs to STFU and just wrestle.
Yeah, man. He's going to encounter. Maybe Cena will go back to the Thugonomics thing for NXT.
Could be.
I'd love to see Cena in a takeover match. How fun!
That'd be pretty fun, man. That'd be pretty fun.
Gracious.
Next match was Killian Dane versus the debuting Tahuti Miles.
This is stupid, but are you surprised at all that they wouldn't rename Tahuti Miles? Given that Jordan Miles was like kind of just in the company and left under less than perfect circumstances. When I hadn't
thought about that.
I saw him. Well, that's good because that's probably why, because people aren't really going to think that. But when he walked out, it was like it was on a long shot when I started paying attention. And on the Tron, I just saw Miles. Now it's spelled different. It's spelled like the measurement of miles. But I was like, what? Am I on the right episode right now? And then it was Tahuti Miles. Tahuti is a great name.
That's a fantastic name.
It really is. So I had never heard of this guy. I don't know what his background. Had you heard anything about this?
I've heard the name before. I don't. Okay. They said that he was a former football player.
Yeah. No, he was in the Army.
Oh, in the Army. I think they also mentioned that he was a football player as well.
Oh, okay. I just know like the final thing was if he could make it in the Army, he could make it anywhere.
I thought they said he played for. Yeah, he was a running back at University of Maryland.
Oh, okay, cool. So he took on Killian Dane.
It's about.
Did I imagine the military thing, or was that somebody else? Was that him?
No,
also?
it was military. Yeah, it mentions this on his profile on whatever I was on. Yeah. Go about as well as you would expect for Tahuti, considering it was his debut against an established NXT star.
He lasted a while.
He did. He got a couple moves in, but Dane was too much. Hits clothesline, slam, senton, Vader bomb, in quick sequence. That's that.
That's that, Mattress Man.
Next, Cameron Grimes versus Tony Nese. All these matches were fairly short too. Like
they were.
Even Riddle versus Strong felt short. I think it was like 12 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
Cameron Grimes picked the win. Tony Nese going for a running Nese. Grimes counters with a forearm and then hits the cave-in for the win. Fun match. Just pretty. A lot of this action on here felt like, in terms of the length of matches, like I was watching NWA Power.
Yeah, I know. I know. Which I don't
They're just
necessarily
in and out, in and out, in and out.
One thing about NXT that I kind of wonder is if they, we had heard, we hadn't actually talked about this at all necessarily on the show, but that Triple H, or maybe we had, that Triple H was trying to bring a lighter side to NXT. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if part of that is is not necessarily comedy. It's more, we want a breezier atmosphere.
Yeah, brisker pace.
Yeah, brisker pace. And maybe, because, I sort of get it. And I've seen this on Twitter a lot, and I understand it totally, is that when you settle into an episode of NXT, you can kind of expect these 20-minute matches that are fantastic, but they get sometimes kind of tiresome. And
when it's the norm, it gets kind of, you feel like you're laboring to get through an episode because the matches are all good, but it's kind of a lot of it's the same thing.
When all the exactly, when all the matches are good, and when you have breezier matches, when you have quicker matches, you have more time to interject story stuff. Like I thought the North American sort of title standoff, I thought that was pretty cool stuff. I like all those guys. Cameron Grimes, I love that cave-in. It looks so brutal, and I'm always afraid that he's going to like completely annihilate his ankles on those.
Yeah, no, that's the case with a lot of double stomps.
Yeah, exactly. But he seems to know what he's doing, so good for him. I like Cameron Grimes a lot. I really hope that whenever I do kind of feel like, as we're going through this, I'm not sure where a good time to talk about this is, but I don't know. What's your feeling on this? Like in terms of them, like they had some matches that sort of that were just there, like Cameron Grimes, this match that we're talking about here, the Killian Dane match. It's just sort of, okay, maybe these are the people that they are planning on giving a push of some sort when this is done with, when all this stuff is like post takeover, whatever that is.
That could be also, I don't know, with
there's the call-up situation also.
What's that?
There's the potential call-up situation after.
There's that, but also there's a situation where apparently my understanding is that the PC is effectively closed. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there's been some people who maybe, I don't know what percentage of the NXT talents, if all of them, 90%, 75% actually live in Orlando. Mm-hmm. For example, like Bob Roode, when he was there, he would just fly in for the shows. And then
Samoa Joe was the same, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if that's still the case for anybody. But given everything that's going on, maybe some people are like, all right, well, I'm going to go, or they had left, and then, travel restrictions or capacity restrictions shut. Long story short, I wonder if they're relying more so on the people who live locally. And based on that, they have a smaller roster potentially to work with.
Yeah, that could be. Let me ask you this. If none of this stuff had happened, if they were still doing Full Sail to a full crowd, would we have seen a beefier segment with Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream? Yeah. I wonder if this is affecting, I guess my question is, I wonder if this is affecting any plans. Because at this point, Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole has zero momentum and no heat behind it. Would they then say, hey, I have no idea if there's any thoughts of having call-ups after this. But Velveteen Dream at this point, in as a fan, is dead in the water. Like, if he wins that title off Adam Cole,
this could be largely a shrug.
Online, everywhere, it's going to be nothing.
Especially if they have a title change in an empty arena match.
I wonder if this is the one thing, like on main roster, you can't really get away. Like, that's why they're filming these apparently super cinematic matches. With NXT having these matches essentially in front of like nobody without the benefit of that sort of, cinematic nature, title changes are going to mean nothing. They're going to mean nothing.
Well, they're going to feel like they mean nothing. Or because part of the impact of seeing a huge title change is seeing the immediate response.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Of it. And a situation like the Velveteen were to win, for a long time he's had the crown behind him, and not to get that response when he wins is going to make the title win feel less than it should.
Yeah, sure.
I
think it kind of matters, like the moment in terms of propelling that person on to the next level. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like NXT could probably get away with putting a halt to title changes for now.
Because
this takeover isn't even a takeover. It's like takeover matches on NXT.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're just
going
to do the 3 that had kind of been well. I mean, I guess the only real takeover match that had been announced was a ladder match, and one you could assume based on how storylines were going, we were gonna get the North American title match as it ended up being, or will be next week, and same for Gargano Ciampa.
The ladder match, Gargano Ciampa, and
the North American title match.
And well, no, I would say I don't even think that. I mean, what they could maybe do that next week, but like
they are doing it next week.
Cole, wait, what?
The North American title match they're doing next week.
Oh, are they actually doing that?
Yeah,
I missed that.
Triple threat.
Triple threat. Okay, cool. And then Cole Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, I mean they started to kind of build to it, but and that would have been, I would assume, the expectation going into Takeover. But I guess
they didn't. Hold on a second. Man, this is how much I've been paying attention. NXT's been boring me lately. This wasn't confirmed by like Regal or something.
What?
Cole versus Dream.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. I mean, Adam Cole during his promo said, "Velveteen Dream, you haven't done enough to earn anything."
Oh, okay.
And that's why he's like, but the Undisputed Era still wants to beat you up. So next week you get Bob Fish.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure out when that happens, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. They really need to wait on that one for crowds and honestly like a proper build.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the Undisputed Era is going right now, he's gonna be able to carve through them like butter.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, next we had, as scheduled, was Aaliyah versus Xia Li. Of course, they have history. Xia Li kicked Aaliyah in the face. Kayfabe broke her nose. Blood pouring out. So I think this is Aaliyah's return match. So Aaliyah comes out first. Xia Li's music plays. She's nowhere to be found.
Nope.
Go backstage. She had been laid out backstage selling knee. So she's on the ground holding her knee, visibly upset. The refs talking to the ring announcer. Enter the returning Io Shirai.
Yeah.
She makes quick work of Aaliyah, wins with a moonsault. She will be in ladder match.
This was a really fast match.
Yeah, it was. And I would expect Io's got to be one of the top contenders to win that ladder match.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like to think. Man, but then, you know what? She's going to go to Rhea Ripley and just lose to her. I don't know. I feel like there's too much good talent, man. They need to hot potato that title a little bit.
They should
to give people their rewards, because Io Shirai is probably going to leave otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's
she's married to. No, who's married to Evil? I
don't think anybody's married. I think it was Io was supposed to be engaged to Evil.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But then Kairi Sane just got married recently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there's been rumors that they're both going to be out the door, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Making sure I'm getting all my.
I believe that's
right.
all correct.
All right.
Next, we had a very brief Dexter Loomis vignette. Not enough Dexter. Yeah, it's just him staring, not blinking.
Why wasn't he covered in blood?
I know. At least do some, like smash cuts of him, drinking blood, something. Covered in blood, bathing in it. Yeah. I don't know what. You really got to get across the fact this guy's basically a serial killer.
Or like it shows him these days now. You like do some vignettes of him at the grocery store.
No, it's in his artist studio.
No, man, he's out in public and he puts his hand on something and then puts it on his face. It's like, whoa.
Oh yeah,
this guy's crazy.
Licks his hand.
Oh.
He's going through the grocery store, everything, just like licking it.
Did you see that some grocery store had to get rid of $35,000 worth of food because some idiot went in there and started coughing on it, like on purpose?
Yeah.
What's wrong with people?
I don't know what's wrong with people, man.
There's something wrong with people, man.
There's a lot wrong with people.
Anyways, after that we had Keith Lee comes down. And was he actually interviewed, or he just had he was interviewed, right?
Yeah, he was interviewed. He was asked a question. They more or less, he just took over.
Who the hell was interviewing him?
He's a new dude.
Oh, it was a new guy?
New guy.
Okay.
So he's kind of does a brief recap of what happened. Both the interviewer does and Keith does, but what happened last time out. And he goes, yeah, I got hit from behind. I come to, I look up, and I see Dijakovic in front of me holding my title. How he was taunting me. See how I can make that mistake. That being said, I absolutely do owe Dominik Dijakovic an apology. That brings Dijakovic to the ring. He says, Keith, I don't give a damn about your apology. The only thing I care about, bang, Arby's North American title. And he says, Keith, you know I wouldn't attack you from behind. I respect you too much. But at the end of the day, you're taking food off my family's plate.
You're taking some barbecues and some
Off our
beef and cheddars.
beef and cheddar, some barbecues.
I couldn't tell my family we have the meat.
I know. I couldn't tell him it was going to be an Arby night.
I wonder if at this point, we never reference the origin of that joke ever anymore. So at this point, there's got to be some viewers that are coming in like, why do they keep on talking about Arby's?
Why do they keep having Dijak talk like David Putty? That brings Damian Priest out, and he's like, thankfully, neither of you are Damian Priest.
I just want that. My eye is on that prize right there because it'll get me more women that I claim to own. It'll get me more money
I claim to own,
so that I can buy those women now. And then my name, it will live in infamy. And
forever.
Damian Priest now forever.
And Keith Lee just says, yeah, whatever. Champ's still standing here. Damian Priest from his back pocket. Telescoping nightstick. Just
That popped me so much. I was
That's an image that never gets sold. If someone pulls out a telescoping nightstick and just flings it out.
It's the coolest thing.
Yeah. You look instantly tough if you do that. I don't
You
care what you're
do.
doing.
You run the risk, though. What if the thing gets stuck and then you have to sit there and do this?
I know. You got to make sure you put some WD-40 in there so it doesn't get stuck.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Priest is walking down the ring, and Dijak pushes Lee out of the way. He and Priest start brawling a little bit. Lee gets up. He pushes Dijak out of the way. Then he and Priest start brawling on the floor, and then Dijak lays him out with like a tope.
That was great, man. I love that.
Yeah, man, it was good camera angles down low, so he's falling into the top of frame.
It was very impressive. He's so lanky and weird.
I know.
Speaking of lanky and weird, when is that Brandon Vink match?
Soon. First, we get an Adam Cole promo. He's at his house, I think. He claims he's on vacation. Sitting poolside. I think he's just in his backyard.
Yeah, it was a small backyard, and I think that's how those condos work out there in Orlando. They all
Maybe.
you have like a little
Well, he
pool.
said he's poolside, and a lot of pools in Florida, I think, to keep the gators out, they have those enclosures around the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Because you look at Carl Anderson's pool, he's got that. John Cena's house, he's got that.
You got to be careful with those gators.
Keep the gators out.
Have you ever seen a gator in Florida before?
Well, I've only been to Florida that one time when I was with you in Orlando.
I'm
I've
only
never been to Florida
asking
otherwise.
because I have.
Oh, all right.
When I was a little kid, my grandparents, they lived in this, like a Del Boca Vista, but it was on like there was like a little lake there. And yeah, we'd be like hanging out inside, be like, hey, look over there. And there's like a gator just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't get near that thing. They were like,
no,
don't go down near the the water's edge there.
Have you seen that Tiger King show at all?
No, man. Why do people keep on asking me that question?
Well,
did you watch it last night?
My wife was watching it, and so after we were done with our AEW recap, I just went out there and it's intoxicating immediately.
Really?
Yeah, because these are some really interesting characters.
Oh man!
And the dude who runs Myrtle Beach Safari is one of the featured players in this.
Oh man, can we get
so that got me instantly. I was like, okay, I want to know deals with this guy.
I know this. I am in this
I know
world
this thanks
already.
to Undertaker. I know what this is.
I'm already in this world.
And yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
I'll check it out. Today's Thursday, so me and my wife can watch some TV.
There you go. Anyways, back to Adam Cole. He's not at Myrtle Beach Safari. He's in his backyard. He says, I've been thinking about that altercation I had with Velveteen Dream a couple weeks back. And at first, Adam Cole was flustered, but then he said, why would I be? I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things first here at NXT. First longest reigning champion, first North American champion, a couple other things. And he says, Velveteen Dream, he hasn't done anything. They're in a title shot, but Undisputed Era, we still want to beat him up. Next up, Bob Fish. And Adam Cole calls Velveteen Dream a loser.
There's a bird that keeps on trying to get in my house.
Okay.
Like at the back door.
Yeah, I see it's open a bit there.
No, it's not actually open. That's the dog door area thing.
No, I see that, but they look like yeah, that's just the curtain. It is the curtain.
It keeps on ramming into. Is it like? Should I put up the screen back there or something when we're done here?
If that's what you want to do.
Well, I just don't want him to keep on ramming his head into my glass door.
Well, I mean, you'd hope eventually he'd learn that he's not flying into the house and he would not do that. However, I must say that my previous residence, there is at least 2, if not 3 instances where a bird would flew directly into the window above the front door. Then I had to pick him up off the sidewalk, off our steps in the front, and dispose of them because they flew with such speed into that window that they hit with such impact that they deceased.
He's just sort of like chilling on the thing. He keeps going bunk, bunk, bunk.
Was he flying into it or just like standing out there?
He's sort of like standing out and then he tries to fly into it and dunk. So it's not like high impact.
All right. Yeah, these birds were like flying, thinking this was part of the sky or something.
Oh, man.
Thwack. Dead bird on my steps. It happened at least twice.
Don't worry about it later. I just keep on hearing this knock on the glass window back there.
Oh, well, I don't hear it. So in terms of what we're doing, it's not translating. So don't worry about it.
I didn't care about that. I care about the bird.
Oh, bird will be fine.
All right, fair enough.
He'll figure it out.
Adam Cole said, I'm not worried about the Velveteen Dream. I'm just going to ride this whole virus thing out in my pool. Next up, we had tag match. Lorcan and Birch versus the Australians, Shane Thorne and Brandon Vink.
No, Brendan.
It is Brendan.
It's Brendan.
Brendan?
Brendan.
Brendan? Hey, Brendan Vink.
Brendan. I wonder what his background is.
He's Australian.
Well, I meant
So
athletic
involves
background.
kangaroos and what are those things? Those frisbees that come back at you?
They're called boomerangs. man.
Batarangs?
Boomerangs.
Boomerangs. Probably involves that. He boxed kangaroos. Kangaroos are tough, dude.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, he's a goofy looking guy. He's really tall, and I feel like he doesn't really know how to interact with shorter people.
He's 6'5",
Yeah.
according to Cage Match here.
And, well, that's what they build him at anyways.
Oh, 6'5", 253.
Yeah, and...
Elliot Sexton was his previous nomen in the wrestling world. That's interesting. Here on, again, Cage Match, it says signature moves. One is called a lunch cutter. The other one is a dick punch.
Was he in DDT Pro or something?
I don't know about that, but I don't think so.
He's he's a tall dude. Whenever it's funny though, whenever he was in the ring against, I don't know which one, I guess Oni Lorcan, it was like he didn't really know how to interact with a shorter competitor because he like would hunch over. He looked like he was a big dude who was forced to play like small ball.
Oh yeah,
you know. So he was kind of a goof. Like
the hell of a Uranagi in the corner on Oni Lorcan though. That looked great.
When he walked out, he tried to do the thing that like cowboys would do, where they put their hands in their belt, on either side. But he was doing that with his trunks.
Yeah,
that's not going to support your hands.
He's pulling an Al Bundy. He's just getting comfortable.
So it just at some point that'd be amazing if he came out with his hands down his pants. That'd be great. Anyways, that tall drink, he freaking lost. They
both got tapped out.
What's that?
Yeah, they both got tapped out.
I see.
Again, short.
This is the kind of stuff that traditionally I've always loved in NXT. People I've never seen before that I can make fun of that eventually I'll come around to.
Yeah,
I love
basically half
seeing
the roster.
This guy's probably going to be main eventing WrestleMania in 10 years. You know what I mean? Like he's 6'5". Nobody's 6'5" anymore. Vince loves that.
Yeah.
He's going to be huge.
Yeah,
but I like seeing the nascent phases.
Exactly.
And
he had some cool trunks, though.
What's that?
He had some cool trunks.
Did he?
They're like kind of tie dye, but look dirty at the same time. I like them.
Okay, so that's the thing. You and I have different definitions of cool because to me that's terrible. That's like garage sale. But therein lies the charm, perhaps.
Yeah. It was still very indie wrestler, but I liked it.
It was so indie wrestler
because it had it was very colorful, and if you. I'm very visually. Mm-hmm. If something's shiny, iridescent, or very comfortable, or colorful, I'll pay attention.
Speaking of comfortable, we forgot to mention Keith Lee literally is wearing gray sweatpants.
Yeah,
he looked the most comfortable possible.
Yeah,
everybody was comfortable. And then Dijak cut the sleeves off his shirt.
He had some jeans and some Timberlands on.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Vink, I think once he is allowed access to once they clean up the Performance Center gym and he's there all the time, he's going to look great. Right now, he looks like he hits the gym once a week. But man, he's going to be, he didn't look that. He looked like a big dude who I don't know, he carries himself like a fat person, but he's not.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not saying that he's fat. I'm saying he carries himself like one.
Okay.
Which is, I know,
he needs to go to the gym to carry himself like what the?
I don't know. Well, I'm not sure the gym. I'm just saying, aside from that, you know how it goes. When you're on the PC, you get jacked.
Yeah, you get jacked. Yeah.
You get crazy jacked. I'm just saying, separate from that, his posture is that of a short, fat person.
Well, let me offer you this. Maybe in his days wrestling in the independents, maybe he was a bit beefier. He's been at the Performance Center for a while. I think he signed quite a while ago, and has begun his regimen, not Riddick regimen, his PC regimen to get Jack. And we're at this intermediate phase where he's not prime Jack, so he still has yet to carry himself like he's completely jacked.
I think he just spends too much time at the Wawa, if that's the case. Anyways,
I hear they got good sandwiches there. We never stopped at the Wawa in Orlando. We should have done that.
I know. What the hell were you thinking, man?
We didn't know. We didn't know about the glory of Wawa till we left.
Yeah, the legend of Wawa escaped
Yeah, we were
us.
not aware. Next, Candice LeRae versus Caden Carter. This was a fun match.
Yeah, this is a good match. This is a good one.
This is very intricately booked.
Mm-hmm.
As far as all the roll-ups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact they got through without flubbing it was pretty dang impressive.
Sadly, Chelsea Green did not come out and try to roll up
Caden Carter. I know. I still wish that had happened. Anyways, Candice picks up the win, locks in Gargano escape on Caden Carter. The finish sequence apparently, especially, was really good. Candice is going for her line salt. Carter avoids that, tries to hit a Shining Wizard on Candice. Candice ducks that right into Gargano escape. Carter taps. So next week, there's a last chance match between all the people who lost their qualifying matches to get into ladder match now.
So the first week was Chelsea Green versus, was it Mia Yim? No, Mia Yim is in, isn't she?
Yeah, Mia's Yim is in.
Who does she beat?
I don't know, man.
Testing your memory here. Who did Chelsea Green beat?
Don't remember.
Candice LeRae beat Caden Carter.
Yeah, and then Io just beat Aaliyah.
She ain't gonna be in.
No. And then there's one other. There's one other person that's in it.
Really?
Yeah, there's 6 people in the ladder match. I really should have noted all this.
312. Mia Yim. Was it Dakota Kai?
Yes.
Dakota Kai's in. It's gonna be her.
Oh, and Tegan Knox is already in it. She's the other one that's already qualified.
Dakota Kai is totally gonna be in this match.
Yeah, totally.
She's probably gonna win it too. Wait, no.
Yeah, maybe.
It's for a shot at what's her face? Rhea Ripley. Oh yeah. Maybe
yeah, Dakota Kai could take a loss.
Could be Io Shirai. Yeah, it's not really a loss if it's a ladder match, anyways. Against like
no. I mean, Dakota Kai can win the ladder match and then take a loss to Rhea. That's fine.
Maybe
because she's still involved in this Tegan Knox thing. She's not gonna be like, really seen as a true title contender until she gets out of this Tegan Knox thing. Because there's always a specter that Tegan Knox could get in that title match and interfere to cost Dakota Kai the match to advance that story.
I think it's gonna be Io Shirai.
It could be. It's gonna be a heel for sure.
Yes. After that, we had Matthew Riddle versus Roderick Strong. Like you said, kind of a short match here. Started out with just a lot of like straight up wrestling, and then
I like that a lot.
It
seemed legit.
Well, yeah, they're both really good wrestlers.
Yeah, and little details I really enjoyed, like Roderick Strong trying twice to get the Olympic Slam off, couldn't do it until he had weakened Matt Riddle well enough. That was really good. Little details.
Chelsea Green beat Shotzi.
Oh, that's right.
Mia Yim beat Dakota. I think it's still going to be Dakota Kai.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. I think Raquel Gonzalez is going to assure that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you mentioned, Matt Base to start. Riddle hits a gut wrench, but no one can really get the upper hand until Roddy hits a couple enziguris, suplexes Matt across the top rope. He has the advantage for a while, has Riddle in the camel clutch, and then Matt bites Roddy's hand to escape.
Ow.
They trade some blows. Riddle has upper hand now after pay leg kick, hits an exploder, goes for Roderick. Strong counters with strong hold. That wasn't. He didn't go for Roderick. He went for something else. I don't know why. I don't know why I noted here. I was doing it on my phone. Anyway, strong counters whatever the heck Riddle did into a strong hold. Riddle escapes that, hits Bro to sleep. German suplex, gets 2. Then Riddle goes for Roderick. Roddy escapes that, hits an Olympic slam. That earns him a 2 count. And then Roddy does the thing where he's running back and forth, dropping elbows. And then Riddle just seemingly catches him, turns him over, and bang.
Yeah.
Roderick for the win.
Roderick, yeah.
Good so then stuff. There's a couple dudes that run out and attack Matt Riddle. He fights him off briefly. Then he's eventually overwhelmed. Malcolm Bivens comes out on the ramp and says, hey, my name's Malcolm Bivens, but you know that already, Matt Riddle. And he just introduces himself. He says, I think now is the perfect time with Peter Dune halfway across the world to introduce you, Matt Riddle, to the future of the NXT Tag Team division.
Who are these guys?
I read that one of them used to be a minor league baseball player.
So they've just been on the Florida Loop. They're not like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. If I see the one dude's name, I'll remember it because I read.
Let's see who's going to get there first. You or chat. Oh, here we go. Dang MQ says, the other two guys are Bell and DeVoe. Good job, Dang. That was a good one.
Oh, man. That is pretty good. It's Malcolm Bivens, not Michael Bivens.
Alex C says, is the baseball one going to be the new Sid and leave every baseball season?
That's it.
Garrett Coulter, I'll just go straight to this. He says that new tag team looked not great, and I kind of agree. Like, their beatdown was awkward as hell, man. There were at least 2 Irish whips. They like try to fling Matt Riddle in the corner, and like it's like they couldn't even pull up an Irish whip. Matt Riddle, like, he had to do like the entire. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
They looked awkward.
It didn't feel as dominant as one would hope.
They had they looked like Dark Order guys, to be honest with you. Like early Dark Order, like before we knew they were a bunch of like fiends with masks. Like that's the level of their attire. It looked like indie wrestler guys. I was like, oh, they get them from like, I don't know, APW or something. Yeah. Authors of Not Much Pain. Authors of Discomfort.
I'm not finding this dude's name on in terms of the house show loop roster.
CS her sister says I read both their new signees from India. Man, they should have kept what's the dude's name? Shera Mahabali Shera, I think that's his name. That dude was freaking jacked. He was huge. He was huge. Yeah. Maybe
I'm looking at the wrong list. Hold on a second. Maybe they on Wikipedia they already updated him to. Oh, is this it? Is this his name? Yes, Rinku Singh.
Okay,
this is the dude that he played minor league baseball for a bit.
Okay,
he won a reality show. The $1 Million Arm.
Okay, the John Hamm movie.
I think the movie was based on this particular reality show.
Yes. Okay, well there you go. I'm participating.
Yeah. So he's one of the dudes. That's what I saw on Twitter. I think Sean Ross Sapp noted that on Twitter. Yeah, HBK 9701 here in chat says that too. I heard that one is from $1 Million Arm movie. Okay, but not the movie. The thing that the movie's based on. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Dubs 88 has a highlighted message here. It says breaking news: Dasher Hatfield to NXT. Who's Dasher Hatfield?
I have no idea.
We'll find out when he gets to NXT. Dasher Hatfield. Oh, here we go. He's a professional wrestler, man. Let's see here. Oh, he was in Shikara. Oh, okay. No, I know this guy. You've seen him before. He's got a funny mask.
He does have a funny mask.
Hence Chikara.
Yeah. Anyways, though, so Malcolm Bivens drops that promo.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say what the name of his team was, unless the name of the team is Future of NXT Tag Team. I imagine we'll find that name in subsequent weeks. Hopefully he has a good, clever pun for their team name, because all the names that Malcolm Bivens came up with that didn't get used, Lucha Vandross, etc.
Don't get your hopes up, man. He was really serious in this. I was hoping he was the guy who stole Raul Mendoza.
Yeah.
But and then did you see that video of Bivens in quarantine where there's like a shot of him, he's got his laptop open and he's acting like he's a DJ. It's just him in the apartment. Lights are out, but he's got like a strobe light or something. And then the camera cuts and it's him with like a drink by the bar area and he's just like doing this. It's funny stuff.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah, he's a really funny guy.
Announced next week, as I mentioned earlier, Velveteen Dream versus Bob Fish to get the women's ladder match. Winner is number one contender for women's title, and then triple threat match for North American title: Lee versus Dijakovic versus Damian Priest.
Oh wow!
All should be fun matches.
Yeah, no kidding. That's great.
And then we get to the final segment. Triple H comes out, talks about how no rivalry is greater in NXT than Gargano and Ciampa.
So that's why I'm going to ask them to come down here.
No one will survive.
Ciampa comes down.
You can't wait. He comes down to me.
There will be no physicality here.
Well, he says, Triple H, like, we said everything we need to say. We've done everything we need to done. I want Johnny in the ring right now.
Yeah.
And Triple H's like, yeah, Johnny, come out, but I want you to know won't be any physicality tonight.
We're going to use our words, kids.
Yeah,
it was totally like you called it, too. It was like he was dad. And he was saying, listen, we're going to settle this once and for all. And I even love how, like, so Gargano gets there. And while he's walking down the ramp, he's talking. And
well, he doesn't want to get in the ring. He's standing up on the stage.
Yeah, he's like, there's going to be no physicality. Get in the ring. I'm not asking, I'm telling.
Yeah.
So he does.
And then Johnny's like, why did I get fined for destroying the Performance Center when Ciampa started it?
He literally said, that's what all kids say. He started it.
I know.
Do your kids do that a lot?
They don't say one of them started it. They just said they did it.
Oh, okay.
No starting. It happened.
All right. Maybe a little bit older, they'll start saying,
maybe,
providing origin stories for you.
No, we just go straight to the conclusion.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So Triple H said that Regal would have fired both of them. That's laughable for what they did. But Triple H intervened, made sure they had a job. It tells Johnny to get in the ring. He does. Triple H says, hey, I understand what it's like to be in a rivalry like this. Sean and I. We went back and forth. But it says, at the end of the day, this can't take over everything.
Yeah.
There's larger things going on outside of wrestling, outside this building. This has to end. They can't be tearing up buildings.
Yeah, and then Johnny's like, yeah, this should have ended a year ago. I wanted this done a year ago, but then he broke his neck.
He had to go and break his neck. Ciampa just did this.
Yeah.
And he's like, darn right. He's like, yeah, I broke my neck. And you talk about things, larger things happening outside of wrestling, outside this building. That's what he said he was dealing with for more than a year, getting his life back. And he says, Ciampa's like, I just want this. Let's just end this and be finished with it. And Triple H kept on going on and on. I know you guys, a match like this, or rivalry like this, you guys probably want this on a huge stage. And both of them are like, we don't care. We just want to fight each other.
We just want to fight. We just want
to put us in a back alley somewhere. We'll take care of it right now.
He's like, fine. All right. If I find an empty building and a ring.
But he's standing in an empty building. He doesn't have to find one. He's standing in one.
Well, no. Then he was like, you guys want to go at it right now? He's like, I can't go at it right now. I can't do it right now. This guy put me through a table. He dropped me off a perch. He's like, fine. How long do you need? And he said,
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we're making fun of it because what we do. I really like this. I thought this was really
it was good.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because Ciampa says that, this is about who's the face, who's the heart and soul of NXT.
You know what?
They both think they are.
That's the one thing that I don't care about who's the face of the company and who's the heart and soul. That's too abstract. Like, that sounds like they're fighting over who gets on the marketing materials.
Yeah, no. Who's on the posters on the ice cream bars?
I mean, to be honest, it's sort of a small quibble because I thought everything else around it didn't even seem like they're fighting over who's the face of NXT. It's just, I hate you endlessly.
Yeah.
And, we're always going to be wrapped up in it. And then Triple H says, both of you guys said there's only room for one of you. Well, that's not true. You're both staying here.
Yeah, essentially. Although he said if you guys don't, if we have this blow off and you guys are still going at each other, then you're both gone.
But there's plenty of room for both of you. He's like, come on, we got like 500 people signed in the back. There's plenty of room for both of you. And that, I felt like kind of was a cheap way to get out of what was set up as like a loser leaves town match.
Yeah.
Dad stepped in and said, yeah, there's plenty of room for you guys. Don't be dramatic, basically.
It's like, it's a situation. It was like, this is a house we have. Sorry, kids, you got to share a room still.
No, that's exactly right. That's
how it felt. And so Triple H says, yeah, I'm going to find an empty building. I'm going to put a ring in it, give you a ref, declare a winner, but then it's over. Two of you walk in, only one of you walks out. But if this continues after that, then neither of you will be in NXT. And so they talk some trash to each other. And then on the Tron behind, the Killer Kross promo rolls. You see him. He's behind me there.
There he is right there.
You finally see his face.
Yeah.
And, sense, you get the sense he will be involved in whatever's happening in 2 weeks' time. Maybe Triple H will borrow this venue from Killer Kross, not thinking that Killer Kross is going to get involved, but he's going to, whether it's before the match ends or when the match ends.
Yeah.
Killer Kross is beating some people up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. They were probably going to do this at like the proper takeover thing. So yeah, that's cool. You know, in kayfabe, one of Triple H is like, "What the hell? This promo supposed to run in between 2 of the other matches? Not right now. Why is it playing now?" But anyways, yeah, no, it'll be cool. He's gonna totally get involved in that. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like it'll sort of enter into maybe a new phase of NXT. I mean, who knows who's gonna be? I don't know. Maybe Adam Cole's gonna lose because they're gonna move on to SmackDown.
I mean, I think with everything else that's going on, it's kind of hard to predict what moves are going to be made or what moves are planned and were shelved because of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might have to shelf any ideas they may have had until this all passes. The answer to the question, Steve. Aaron Gasper, should the next Dusty Classic include teams from across all brands? Seemed like a great idea for some dream matchups to me. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Or I think it'd be good. I mean, it would be awesome if they did more tournaments. Like, I really like the world. I mean, I know it wasn't a tournament, but I really like the Worlds Collide thing. I think you've got all these people, this huge roster. Do some more like inter-brand tournaments, man.
I know.
I mean, that's the thing about the WWE. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know if it's just because like Vince is old and he's got a lot of stuff going on, but like they have so many people that it just seems like a lot to handle. And so when we come up with ideas like, man, it'd be great if they did a cross-brand tournament, that's probably a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, Vince doesn't like tournaments either.
Which is so stupid. I mean, there's some things that just Vince doesn't like.
Very Vince thing.
Apparently, Vince didn't like that Brody Lee segment last night.
Oh, yeah?
According to Meltzer. We can talk about it for News Brief, perhaps.
All right.
Aaron, you already got that. Kenny T, not NXT related, but in kayfabe, what does an interview / audition for a WWE referee go down like?
I imagine they got to do a bunch of drills. Like they'll have a bunch of people bump in the ring, and then the ref has to go and try to count the pinfall. But while he's doing that, someone else takes a bump in the ring while that guy kicks out. So you have to transition to the next pinfall.
Oh, yeah, sure. I think
drills.
that they have to sign, part of it is they have to sign away the fact that there's no concussion protocol for refs. Because when they take a bump and they're down and they're out for like 3 minutes, that ain't good. That's a huge violation of the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. Alex Foster. So what should Dexter Loomis do to be established as different? Bring roadkill to the ring.
Yeah. There you go. And then nibble on it.
Nibble on it, yeah.
Cameron Sherman, do you think it's a good idea for Killer Kross to be inserted in the Ciampa Gargano feud? His vignette was awesome, but interesting that it was at the end of their promos. I do wish he was on SmackDown, though. Killer Kross versus Daniel Bryan seems like a no-brainer. I mean, Killer Kross has money written all over him. That being said, if you're going to sign with WWE, I think you'd probably want to go to the safest brand in terms of building your own personal brand, putting on the best matches you can is NXT. You go to Raw or SmackDown, you don't know what's going to happen to you.
No idea. No clue.
So if it were up to me, I'd be like NXT, because at least I know I'm in good hands. I probably have way more input as far as what I'm going to do. I could probably have way more input on the type of matches I want to do. It seems like a more collaborative place, a better place for a wrestler to build their brand.
Yep, I agree. Eric Blaha, the bass hit king. Besides Brody Lee and Gilbert, what are some other spite gimmicks that are pretty good?
I didn't say pretty good. Pretty good.
All right.
He wanted the he made a curb reference. He wanted to curb the enthusiasm reference.
I know the
point of saying that.
I know.
I do too.
Shawn Michaels doing Hulk Hogan.
Ones. Yeah.
Because that apparently completely torpedoed any hope of him getting a win over Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a spite match. Hulk Hogan versus HBK.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I know, it was great.
I'm trying to think of other spike gimmicks that worked. Most of them are awful. Like the Renegade. That was supposed to be like a riff on
the Warrior, yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah.
It was awful.
See if anybody in chat has any ideas.
I'll move on to Greg Morris.
Fake diesel. No, this is stuff. This is stuff that's supposed to work. Hey, somebody mentions here, probably this is rude fat shaming, but Dead Vinny says, can Steve pull off Matt Riddle attire? No, obviously not. Hardly anybody could pull off Matt Riddle attire. It's like basically body paint on his nethers. But I did appreciate when Roderick Strong did his boom. Riddle was in the background, and he did one of these in conjunction with it. I was dying.
Greg Morris, since this is seemingly the end of Gargano Ciampa, what do you think the end would have been had it ended last year? It would have ended with Johnny beating Ciampa for the belt.
Yeah.
That's where it seemed like it was going.
Yeah.
Adrian C., the return of Io makes her the favorite to win a takeover, right? And when she does, it would be completely out of the question to say that we could hear her take the title off Ripley before the end of the summer. We don't need every NXT women's title reign to last a year. Given the incredible depth of talent in the NXT women's division, it would make sense, as you mentioned earlier, to hot potato that belt a little bit. I just get the feeling that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree, and it's a shame. I think that they really should. They should. They've got too much talent there, and it can be. I mean, look. Here's the thing: you have the opportunity right now. She's about to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's going to happen. And you have an opportunity for somebody to kind of sneak one away from her. You know, if she comes out of that thinking, "Oh man, I'm the bee's knees. I'm the best. Nobody could beat me." And then somebody comes in like the next time we see Rhea Ripley and lays her out, you got to add some intrigue to this stuff, man. I don't want to go another year just knowing that Rhea Ripley. It's like the the Shayna thing. It's like they had her lose against Kyrie, but then after that she was just dominant, and you just knew they were feeding people to her left and right, and they did a decent job. Like I feel like they did a decent job with Mia Yim and her build against Shayna, but then it didn't happen. And when that didn't happen, I was like, okay, I don't care what they're gonna say. Nobody's gonna take that title off Shayna.
Yeah, I thought of all the challengers prior to Rhea that had the best chance of beating Shayna, I thought Bianca had the best chance.
Yeah,
she walked in that undefeated.
Yeah.
All that, and they didn't go through with it. So
and they didn't, and then you just realize, okay, well, opponent after opponent, we know Shayna is gonna, and then they totally telegraph Rhea as well, and and it was a great match. Don't get me wrong, it was a great match. It was a coronation moment. And sometimes you can just see coronation moments happening, and you can predict them. That being said, like it's just formulaic at that point. If they're gonna do the same thing with Rhea Ripley, they got to get that belt onto somebody else so that she can go chase somebody.
Yep. Correct.
Let's see here. I'm looking at Andrew Diehard Homer says Wawa has good stuffed pretzels. He says more for Steve as it's stuffed with cheese, of course.
Oh yeah, it's not my thing.
Let's see here. We got that one, and let's see here. I thought we had another sub. I'm looking for it. Anyways, later on today we'll have our news brief. After lunch we'll have an overrun of some sort for Friendo Club TV. You can watch me play some more GTA, and we'll chat about some fun stuff. Yeah, good stuff. I know you love that. Anyways, okay, so I'm not. So somebody just said you forgot about the Discord. I didn't. There's just notifications open. So like every time I open it up, it goes bloop 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 bloop. And so I tried to mute them, but it didn't work. So I got to figure out how to mute them, and then I'll get back to the Discord. I'm sure they got some great questions over there. I'll you know what I'll do during my lunch? I'll go to the Discord and I'll answer them personally.
Hey, we could do that in Friendo Club TV.
Well, they're not all patrons necessarily.
Oh.
So, I mean, at one point they were, but it's only $1 to get into the Discord.
Yeah.
So, So I'll just go over there. I'll answer them personally.
All right.
Anyways. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.